BHP has posted its lowest first-half profit in 6 years. Underlying attributable profit came in at $5 billion during the period. That's a decrease of 23%. The fall was largely due to an economic slowdown in China, which dampened demand for iron ore. The performance has prompted the miner to trim its interim dividend to 50 cents, putting the payout at an 8-year low. Anglo American says it will sell its nickel business. A unit of Hong Kong-listed MMG is keen on the asset and could pay up to $500 million for the business. The move is part of a broader restructuring at Anglo, which is aimed at refocusing its operations on copper and iron ore mining. Sticking with the news from the Anglo stable, Kumba has had a tough year. The miner felt the pinch of lower iron ore prices and sales and a stronger rand in the 12 months to end December. This weighed on adjusted earnings before interest, tax, depreciation and amortization, which fell 38%. Kumba has nevertheless declared a final dividend of 19 Rand at 90. This reflects a cut of 18% on last year's payout. And DRD Gold has reported glistening half-year results. The Surface Gold Recovery Company has posted a 65% jump in earnings. That's thanks to higher prices for the yellow metal. DRD Gold is an unhedged producer and so could take full advantage of the 26% rise in the average rand gold price it received. An interim dividend of 30 cents has been declared. Further afield, Honda Motor will resume talks with Nissan Motor to form the world's fourth biggest automaker, provided Nissan CEO Makoto Uchida steps down. The two Japanese firms had been in negotiations to create a $60 billion giant. Here's more detail in this report.
Honda could revive merger talks if Nissan boss Makoto Uchida quits. That was according to reports by the FT on Tuesday. The two Japanese firms had been in negotiations to create a $60 billion giant, but the talks collapsed last week. Reuters sources say that was partly due to Nissan's pride, with the firm refusing to consider a takeover by Honda. Now the FT says the move could be back on if Uchida goes. It says Honda wants to see a new Nissan boss who is more able to manage internal opposition to any deal. Uchida has previously stated his intention to stay until 2026, but the FT says he faces pressure to step down from board members and French partner company Renault. It says Nissan directors have already started informal discussions on the timing of his departure. Analysts say the company looks vulnerable without a deal. It's been left a diminished force by years of faltering sales and management turmoil. Nissan is working on a turnaround plan that involves 9,000 job cuts and a 20% reduction in manufacturing capacity. But it faces mounting pressures, including the rise of new Chinese challengers like BYD. Honda shares were little changed Tuesday following the FT report, but Nissan shares were up over 4% by early afternoon, indicating investor hopes for a deal.
And the Air Force One program may be further delayed until 2029 or years later due to supply chain issues and changing requirements. This is after the White House said the project failed to deliver a new plane on time over the weekend. Let's take a look.
Donald Trump wants a new Air Force One, but it looks like he might have a long wait before climbing on board an updated presidential jet. The current ones are getting old. But a US administration official says Boeing's project to create a new version could be delayed by years. The first of the adapted 747s was due to be delivered late last year, but Boeing has already put that back until 2027 at best. Now digital magazine Breaking Defense says it could actually be 2029 or later. The Washington official told Reuters it could even be years beyond that. Trump has been deeply engaged with the project. Back in 2016, he got Boeing to promise it wouldn't charge more than $4 billion for the new planes. But problems have mounted, leaving the aerospace giant with $2 billion in losses already. Now Boeing chief Kelly Ortberg has met with Elon Musk, who's leading Trump's bid to slash government spending. He's promised to do what he can to get the new jets in the air sooner. But Boeing leaders say the program has been beset by high costs and supply chain issues, with some suppliers going bust. It's also grappling with the complexity of the updated aircraft, as Air Force One is supposed to be a flying White House, fitted with advanced communications and defensive systems. Over the weekend, Trump toured a 747-8 similar to the one being used for the new presidential plane. The official who spoke to Reuters said it was a bigger space than the current jet, which they called relatively small. Whether Trump gets to board a new Air Force One before his second term ends, though, that looks increasingly unlikely.